Welcome to Bitoon Elementary School virtual graduation ceremony with the theme Sulong Edukalidad, Championing the Nation's Future. Education is our passport to the future. For tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for today. Students, visitors, faculty and staff, my dear parents, and most of all to our graduates, good day. Amidst this pandemic, still today is the day of rejoicing, the first step that every student must undertake to open up a new stage of their lives. It is an honor for me to be here in this special event of celebrating the accomplishment and academic achievements of our dear graduates. To formally start our very first virtual graduation of Bitoon Elementary School, let us put ourselves to the holy presence of the Lord as we sing our prayer, to be followed by Philippine National Anthem and Sugbu Hymn.
We felt your word burning within us. Your word unlocked the hardness of our hearts and opened our eyes that we may see you hidden in the broken bread. Lord, you laid down your life as bread and wine we see, gave strength to our hearts and made us shine with glee. When we eat the bread and drink the cup of wine, we believe that Christ in us is our hope of glory. Ye brought a ray of light, and ye rekindled our hope and led our hearts to yearn for your love. For in you is our hope of glory. Lord, you laid down your life as bread and wine we see, gave strength to our hearts and made us shine with glee. When we eat the bread and drink the cup of wine, we believe that Christ in us is our hope of glory. Through your own flesh, now made living, and by the Spirit made life-giving, you offered life to us, and as your sweat became like drops of blood falling down upon the ground, you shed your blood for us. Amen. Lord, you laid down your life as bread and wine we see, gave strength to our hearts and made us shine with glee. When we eat the bread and drink the cup of wine, we believe that Christ in us is our hope of glory. is our hope of glory.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang mag-ibig, helas ng sinakanan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y bumay. Lupang hinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisingil, sa nagatak tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong pagaw, ay hinatang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nagtitindig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan ang may di magtitindig. Luman ang araw ng walhagit pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang inigaya ng pagkay mga amin, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo. Subuhan ang kabubutan sa habagatan, kinapusuran lalawigan sa kabisayaan, sa kaalam adunahan, sa among gugmaot lumog kanunay halaran. Subuon ang binunyagan sa Kristohanong pinuhuan, ipanalipanan ng kanunay Senyo sa Ruso ninyo. Makasaysayanon, maabi-abihon, madanihulog ang ay kagayon na ipasigarbo. Subo pinangga sa klimaon,
To welcome us all, let us hear a welcome address from Nino James I. Kinatadkan, a candidate for graduation.
Our vibrant district supervisor, Mr. Pableo M. Toling, workaholic principal, Mr. Romel T. Compuesto, dedicated teachers, proud parents, fulfilled graduates, ladies and friends, a blessed day to one and all. Today's event is still one of the best times in our life, despite everything that is going on in our world today. This time may mean different things to each one of us, but I hope and pray that this is only short-lived and that each one of us will always remain excited and proud of what we have accomplished because of the dedication, hard work, and persistence that we gave. Our graduation today is not the end of a tough journey, but the beginning of the beautiful one. Our brilliant achievement is remarkable, which creates a sweet smile and great sense of happiness for the teachers, parents, and graduates. We may not know yet what awaits us in the next corner, but we should always look forward to what the future beholds. On behalf of my batch, I am indeed so honored to welcome everyone to the 2021st ever virtual graduation ceremony of Bitoon Elementary School with this year's theme, Sulong Edukalidad, Championing the Nation's Future, which highlights the consistency of the department's call for the national effort towards quality basic education. This must be a very proud moment for us, so let's make the most out of it now. Thank you so much, and God bless everyone.
Thank you for the warmest welcome. To present the candidates for graduation, may I present to you our hard-working principal, Mr. Romel T. Compuesto, to be followed by the confirmation of candidates for graduation by our very handsome and vibrant district supervisor, Mr. Pableo M. Tuling.
Mr. Pableo M. Tuling, Public Schools District Supervisor, District of Bantayan 1. In my capacity as school head of Bitoon Elementary School, I have the honor to present to you 76 candidates for graduation, of whom 36 are boys and 40 are girls. They have satisfactorily completed the minimum requirements for elementary graduation set by the Department of Education and are now awaiting for your confirmation as graduates.
By virtue of authority delegated to me by the school's Division Superintendent, Dr. Marilyn A. Sandales of the Division of Cebu Province, based on the facts and figures presented to me by the school head and the assurance that you have satisfactorily completed the basic requirements for graduation as prescribed by the Department of Education under the Basic Education Curriculum. I hereby confirm you as graduates this August 2020. Graduates, congratulations, and to God be the glory.
Next in line is the most awaited and anticipated presentation of graduates by their class advisor.
Aluba Kurt James P. Parents: Mr. Richel S. Aluba, Mrs. Joycey T. Pichao. Aviso John Carl T. Parents: Mr. Richie V. Aviso and Mrs. Janet M. Tahanlangit. Capisnon Armando Jr. C. Parents, Mr. Armando Sr. Capisnon and Mrs. Marita P. Condino. Curib Noel A. Parents, Mr. Noel P. Curib and Mrs. Loida L. Ariglado. Dabukol John Ibrahim E. Parents, Mr. Joseph B. Dabukol and Mrs. Medi N. Enabe. Delara Jeremy B. Parents, Mr. Giovanni S. Delara, Mrs. Mary Grace A. Bantilan. Jacusa John Mardy N. Parents, Mr. Rodello A. Jacusa, Mrs. Maricel M. Magdadaro. Inot Joel Lawrence A. Parents, Mr. Joel C. Inot and Mrs. Jess M. Asugao. Melendres Michael Jr. S. Parents, Michael Y. Melendres, Mrs. Mirasol R. Saplad. Monsanto Vincent M. Parents, Mr. Adonis M. Monsanto, Mrs. Floraldine A. Manatad. Osabel Chemuel A. with honors. Parents, Mr. William N. Osabel, Mrs. Maria Cherina L. Ariglado. Hawaii Franz A. Parents, Mr. Francisco L. Pawai, Mrs. Mila A. Angkahas. Pedros Jeffrey P. Parents, Irineo C. Pedros, Mrs. Maria Liza S. Pilapili. Kinatagpan Nino James I. with honors. Best in Science, Best in English, Best in Math, Best in Filipino, Best in Araling Panlipunan. Parents, Mr. Elmar L. Kinatagkan, Mrs. Ellen V. Initan. Tabacon John Patrick M. Parents, Mr. Valentin R. Tabacon, Mrs. Mercy B. Mendoza. Abordo Trexie S. with honors. Parents, Mr. Arnel Abordo, Mrs. Julieta C. Sontusigan. Aninion Riz P. Parents, Mr. Richie A. Aninion, Mrs. Jessa C. Pepito. Arangas Bent V. Parents, Mr. Abonjo M. Arangas, Mrs. Rowena M. Vargas. Arreglado Beryl O. Parent, Mrs. Richie Oliver. Arreglado Oriel O. Parent, Mrs. Richie Oliver. Berriuso Maria Rosario N. Parents, Mr. Marcelo Z. Berrioso, Mrs. Maria Mirasol M. Montiseven. Bologna's Nice C. Parents, Mr. Ryan R. Bolunias, Mrs. Cherelle M. Canales. Calvo and Zyril P. Parents, Mr. Antonio A. Calvo, Mrs. Susana A. Pepito. Caceres Hannah P. Parents, Mr. Elman P. Caceres, Mrs. Dalia C. Pepito. Conde Angel May B. Parents, Mr. Ruben S. Conde, Mrs. Mary Ann D. Berandal. Condrillion Shamilin Grace S. Parents, Mr. Simeon S. Condrillion, Mrs. Amy A. Sabanal. Estocapio Gracie Emery C. with honors. Parents, Mr. Lester M. Estocapio, Mrs. Connie P. Coyoca. Galos Liza May I. with honors. Parents, Mr. Rolando G. Galos, Mrs. Marlene A. Inot. Limas Mary Lorraine A. Parents, Mr. Joliver E. Limas, Mrs. Iris O. Ariglado. Montaño Marby P. Parents, Mr. Marlon O. Montaño, Mrs. Bridget G. Pigaro. Monterde Angel A. Parents, Mr. Cerveliano Jr. A. Monterde, Mrs. Rosita C. Aragon. Pepito Mary Chris P. Parents, Mr. Reniboy C. Pepito, Mrs. Nena T. Postrero. Postrero Alexandra Marie I. Parents, Mr. Nelson T. Postrero, Mrs. Maureen C. Inot. Roca Creselin C. with honors. Leadership Awardee. Parents, Mr. Russell T. Roca, Mrs. Crisalda A. Conde. Rosasenia Jillian Carril S. Parents, Mr. Brian D. Rosasenia, Mrs. Giselle C. Sontusigan. Rosasenia Precious Kai O. Parents, Mr. Jenaire D. Rosasenia, Mrs. Janeline A. Oliver. Roselle Daisybell S. Parents, Mr. Lidio Jr. M. Roselle, Mrs. Rosalie Y. Suntusigan. Sarador Katrina C. Parents, Mr. Jolito Sarador, Mrs. Hasmin Coyoca.
Alquilita Jomel A. Parents, Mr. Carlito F. Alquilita, Mrs. Jenny S. Arangues. Angkahas Jeff Clifford N. Parents, Mr. Nino D. Angkahas, Mrs. Leia D. Nolia. Arreglado James Paul O. Parents, Mr. Jamar S. Arreglado, Mrs. Sherwina F. Onjano. Arriesgado Stuart G. Parents, Mr. Ray A. Arriesgado, Mrs. Emily C. Gulfan. Barcenas Vincent Joseph L. Parents, Mr. Achilles G. Barcenas, Mrs. Shona A. Lahoy. Carnaje John Marvin A. Parents, Mr. Celino Jr. S. Carnaje, Mrs. Virginia G. Abasolo. Conde Clarence A. Parents, Mrs. Sinaida A. Conde. Conde John Lester T. Parents, Mr. Alden D. Conde, Mrs. Daphne A. Tahanlangit. Koyoka Renji M. Parents, Mr. Concordio R. Koyoka, Mrs. Rodita P. Monterde. Diaz Ray Christopher M. Parents, Mr. Cesar B. Diaz, Mrs. Edna B. Melendres. Fuentes Mark Vincent B. Parents, Mr. George T. Fuentes, Mrs. Jean D. Baguio. Gaudinis Ryle Anthony P. Parents, Mr. Richard P. Gaudinis, Mrs. Mylen I. Pepito. Hiral Von Ryan A. Parents, Mr. Jose Glenn J. Hiral, Mrs. Roma S. Ariglo. Lediros Noah A. Parents, Mr. Richard A. Lederos, Mrs. Honeybee A. Arsolon. Pepito John Lloyd M. Parent, Mrs. Marnie M. Pepito. Pepito John Michael I. Parents, Mr. Heracleo A. Pepito, Mrs. Catherine P. Inot. Rivera CJY. Parents, Mr. Crisanto Y. Rivera, Mrs. Genevieve L. Yaguno. Zachary John Manuel C. Parents, Mr. Christopher L. Zachary, Mrs. Jeneline A. Kanyal. Saplad John Jacob P. Parents, Mr. Rinaldo R. Saplad, Mrs. Miriam C. Pepito. Selgas Christian C. Parents, Mr. Santos Selgas, Mrs. Maria Clayeda Coyoca. Tangkai Frederick Ray N. Parents, Mr. Joseph C. Tangkai, Mrs. Concepcion A. Nicisario. Achuela Lorraine S. Parents, Mr. Rogelio L. Achuela, Mrs. Jennifer I. Santucidad. Arriesgado Nova Jarina L. Parents, Mr. Anjomar D. Arriesgado, Mrs. Lolita B. Loza. Capisnon Janelle Alia C. Parents, Mr. William A. Capisnon, Mrs. Sosan L. Carabio. Coyoca Crislin Ann R. Parents, Mr. Crisanto C. Coyoca, Mrs. Helen C. Rosalejos. Coyoca Langine M. Parents, Mr. Orlando C. Coyoca, Mrs. Vanessa F. Mahusay. Doble Jolife L. Parents, Mr. Edsel A. Doble, Mrs. Mirasol P. Losenio. Herrero Shaina Denise A. Parents, Mr. Joey V. Herrero, Mrs. Sherian M. Aragon. Kiral Kim Rian A. Parents, Mr. Jose Glenn J. Hiral, Mrs. Roma S. Arreglo. Lozano Kim Chloe. Parent, Mrs. Saisome G. Lozano. Minghai Roa D. Parents, Mr. Ricky R. Minghai, Mrs. Anesita R. Discartin. Perez Krishnali T. Parents, Mr. Esperejon C. Perez, Mrs. Alicia R. Tautuan. Pilapel MJ E. Parents, Mr. Renato S. Pilapel, Mrs. Marian C. Idombengo. Pitubo Era A. Parents, Mr. Edison T. Pitubo, Mrs. Ninette C. Aragon. Roselle Rowella G. C. Parents, Mr. Rowell M. Roselle, Mrs. Glenda M. Clemente. Segovia Nina Jane T. Parents, Mr. Rodel Y. Segovia, Mrs. Brigida L. Taran. Seraphine Kathleen P. Parents, Mr. Rex S. Seraphine, Mrs. Maria Alma Y. Pepito. Zamora Aryan Rose R. Parents, Mr. Arniel B. Zamora, Mrs. Nadel C. Rosell.
Congratulations, graduates, for a job well done. You are now ready for the next chapter of your lives. To give us the words of gratitude, may I present to you Miss Crystalline C. Roca, to be followed by the Pledge of Loyalty by Shaina Denise A. Herrero, the class graduates.
To our fatherly district school supervisor, Mr. Pableo M. Toling, hardworking principal, Mr. Romel P. Compuesto, devoted teachers, proud parents, fulfilled graduates, ladies and friends, a blessed day to one and all. COVID-19 pandemic has caused many graduations to be replaced with virtual, drive-in, and other alternative ceremonies. Things right now may appear sour, but I'm still looking forward that eventually they will turn sweet. It may be upsetting for us that our graduation ceremony may not look the way we envisioned, but we should still be happy and proud of all our accomplishments. For all the times of late night studies, lack of sleep, and sacrifice of enjoyment, our reward is here. Our endless passion of persevering to be better and striving hard leads us in achieving our diploma. So, this must be a very proud moment for us because all the hard work we have done has paid off. On behalf of my fellow graduates, I am indeed so privileged to express a heartfelt message on this momentous event. My sincerest gratitude, first and foremost, to our Almighty God for His saving grace and blessings in today's event and future undertakings. I must mention also a deep sense of appreciation to the teachers for their untiring and undeniable staying power in teaching us the desired attitude, knowledge, and skills. Further, to my friends, classmates, and batchmates for their great company. You will always be a special memory. Lastly, to my parents for their undying support, love, and care. I cannot even put into words of how grateful and blessed I am for having this incredible opportunity, and I appeal that you will be with me in the long run as I continue with my journey. Best of luck for us on all our future endeavors. Thank you so much, and God bless us all.
Pledge of Loyalty. Imbued with the spirit of love and loyalty to Bitoon Elementary School, our alma mater, we, the graduates of school year 2019-2020, do hereby pledge to do our best to the noble traditions of our institution. We pledge to honor her by further pursuing higher studies and preparing ourselves to live in a community and lead a frugal life, obey the laws, and become worthy citizens of our country, the Philippines. So help us God.
Thank you very much, graduates. I, together with your teachers in Bitoon Elementary School, hope that you will be a good citizens in our community and eventually our country. To give us the message of acknowledgement, may I present to you the Faculty President of Bitoon Elementary School, Mrs. Joypin A. Discartin.
As what Audrey Hepburn once said, that nothing is impossible. The word itself says, I'm possible. Despite everything that is happening in our world today, that could make every graduation a little different this year, still, It is always the best time to celebrate every pupil's accomplishments and the other exciting things that lay ahead in their future. On behalf of Bitoon Elementary School faculty and staff, it is indeed my pleasure to express my sincere gratitude to those individuals helping and making this virtual graduation a possible one. First and foremost, to our Heavenly Father for His saving grace and blessings in today's undertaking. Next, to the teachers for molding and shaping the children's future to help improve their lives. I must mention also a deep sense of appreciation to the parents for all their sacrifices in attending and providing their children's needs. And of course, to our graduates of school year 2019-2020, congrats again for successfully making this journey in a time filled with unprecedented challenges.